You probably heard of the different types of attachment styles that people struggle with when it comes to commitment. There are 4 main ones in attachment theory: secure attachment style, anxious avoidant attachment style, and avoidant attachment style. But today I want to talk to you about how to date an avoidant attachment style woman, because it can get super tricky if you don't know what you're doing. But before we get into it, hello, gentlemen. My name is Apollonia Ponti. I am a dating, relationship, and attraction coach for men. I've been doing this for over 7 years now, and I have numerous testimonials right below that you can see for yourself in regards to getting men sustainable results with high-quality women and a great life with them. And if this is your first time visiting, I welcome you. I want to say hello to you, and also to please take this moment to subscribe to this channel, as it means a lot to me. Also, too, for my loyal subscribers, I love that you have been loyal to me. I want to just take a moment and say thank you, and comment below, as I love interacting with you and I love to just see your comments. So let's do this. All right. So I want to give you some important guidelines on how to date women or someone that has this type of attachment style. I know it's a confusing thing because on one hand, you have this connection with her and you feel a relationship unfolding, but on the other hand, she keeps pulling away and shutting you out. So of course you're left feeling confused and frustrated, wondering, how am I supposed to deal with this situation? Let's talk a little bit about these situations and what they mean for you specifically. So back in 1950s, a significant idea called attachment theory took root, and it has gained a lot and a ton of research support since then. 2 brainy folks named John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth delved into how babies have their needs met by their parents. They figured out that these early experiences really shaped how these little ones approach relationships throughout their entire lives. So research now suggests that people with secure attachments are at ease showing affection and interest. They're fine with both being independent and spending time alone. They sport healthy self-confidence, prioritize relationships well, and uphold clear boundaries. Avoidant attachment types, on the other hand, are all about independence and self-direction. They find intimacy uncomfortable, often dodging commitment and using reasoning to escape close connections. When people try to get too close, they tend to feel crowded or suffocated, and they can be quite, I would say, paranoid about being controlled or confined. A lot of times they have an escape plan ready in every relationship. They structure their lifestyle to avoid commitment, maybe, and excess intimacy. In fact, and when I say intimacy, I don't mean sex intimacy. I mean vulnerable intimacy, people to see who they truly are. In fact, surveys show that avoidants shine in self-confidence, but come up short in emotional expression and warmth. They don't reveal much about themselves to partners and friends. Interesting enough, relationships often dance to the tune of those who care the least. That's why avoidants tend to hold the reins in friendships and romantic partnerships, always ready to walk away. This is the contrast to anxious types who lean into being controlled, okay? And what I've seen with men is they mistake a woman's quality for her unavailability. That's what we don't want to do here. And people with anxious attachment styles tend to feel jittery and stressed in their relationships. So sometimes you will attract an avoidant because of a underlying trauma response, or your subconscious wanting to really go after that person to self-assure your own self-esteem or self-worth. Because when you're anxiously attached, you crave ongoing reassurance and affection from your partner and struggle with being alone. Unfortunately, they might find themselves in not so healthy or even abusive relationships. Anxious avoidant attachment types, also known as a fearful or disorganized type, combine that not so great aspects of both worlds. These individuals fear intimacy and commitment while also distrusting and emotional lashing out at someone who tries to get close. They often spend time alone feeling miserable or stuck in their dysfunctional relationships. Anxious avoidants lack confidence and tend to suppress their emotions. They can have intense outbursts when stressed. Seeking help isn't their strong suit due to the distrust of others, making it tough for them to address their own issues. These people really face a tough situation. Unlike avoidants who prefer solitude, anxious avoidants avoid intimacy because they're deeply afraid of getting hurt by it. Studies show that only a small portion of the population falls into this category, and they often grapple with various emotional problems in other aspects of life too, such as substance abuse and depression. Regularly, I think avoidants, however, are extremely common, making up about 25% of the population. So let's get into how to date one. Here's the thing. When both partners are committed to collaborating on their journey towards security, their relationship has the potential to flourish with love and enrichment. Of course, this might require some extra effort at the start. It's possible to understand your avoidant partner triggers and figures out the most effective way to show love without overwhelming them. So solution number 1 is learn when and how to communicate your frustrations. Imagine this. You're getting a bit worked up because she hasn't reached out to you all day, even though she said she would. Minutes tick by and you're starting to wonder, now, what's your move? Do you send a flurry of text messages? Maybe toss into a passive-aggressive one? Hold up and pause, and let's not go there. Pause and take a moment. Maybe meditate or hit the gym to shake off this tension and stress. Choose whatever helps you unwind, but avoid sending messages while you're all wound up. Trust me, the anxious energy isn't concealed by an emoji. People can feel it. So once you're all zen and relaxed, then that's when you can have a talk. Here's the scoop. Communicate like grown-ups. No demanding, no trying to control situations, and defining no until ultimatums, because that will send an avoidant running for the hills. Express your needs for connection, communication without turning it into attack. This is where the magic comes in. You and your partner can brainstorm ways to satisfy both your connection, need for space, and freedom. So picture this scenario. She's about to disappear into her bubble, but this time she gives you a heads up that she's taking some time and we'll get back to you tomorrow. Why? Because you had a conversation about it beforehand. No personal drama, no threat to the relationship, just understanding between you two. Now, I'm not saying she'll overhaul everything to match your emotional triggers if you lean towards anxiety, but here's a twist. The more secure you become and how you connect, the less you'll feel stress when she needs space. So next up is solution number 2 is be patient. This is a no-brainer, but it's really easy to mess up, especially when you feel like, I don't know, she keeps pushing you away or maybe even shutting you down. You have to work on practicing patience through, I think, though, because this is what will keep you safe from lashing out and accidentally making things worse. You just have to remember that when she withdraws, it's not necessarily a sign of rejection. It's more so just a reminder that she needs some time. She needs me time. That's how she copes. And you two can work on communicating about that. Now, the key, you do have to communicate about it so that you can develop a dynamic that feels fulfilling for both of you. If you don't, it becomes a breeding ground for resentment and frustration, and things can get toxic. The next is tap into your empathy so that you can support her, but don't try to fix her. This is next, okay? When it comes to avoidance, one of the biggest challenges lies in recognizing and talking about their emotions. It's like they're facing a puzzle without all the pieces. But here's a good thing. Research has shown that simply giving a name to our emotions can work wonders in calming them down in dealing with them. Psychologist Dan Siegel has this term for it: name it to tame it. He says emotions are like this energy waiting to find a way out. And guess what? Finding the right words is the first step towards letting them out. You can nudge your partner towards journaling. It might sound a bit old school, but it's like a little secret portal of emotions. It helps them connect with what they're feeling instead of just drifting away like their avoidant tendencies would want them to and shutting it out. But hey, here's the thing. Make sure you're not more invested in her growth than you're invested in your own. If she's not totally into evolving and moving forward together, then my friend, you're at a crossroads. You've got 2 options. Accept them as they are or consider moving on. And if you accept them as they are and she's not at a crossroads to evolving, you're going to be in a whirlwind of a toxic relationship and probably be unhappy because your needs are not going to be met in this relationship. If their avoidance style is causing you a boatload of heartache, you got to figure out if a partner who's more secure might be a better fit for you down the road. And they probably will be. It's all about what makes sense for you in the long haul. So solution number 3 is to respect their boundaries and maintain your own independence. People with avoidant attachment styles can sometimes get a bit overwhelmed when things get too close and personal, especially too fast. So it's a good idea to give them room to breathe and make sure they are comfortable with how close things are getting. These people tend to be big on boundaries. It's like they put up these walls because letting others in feels pretty scary and uneasy for them. So that's why respecting their boundaries is a big deal. Don't push an avoidant woman to spill all the beans about herself or her past if she's not ready, especially if it's too early on. Even if she doesn't realize it, she might have this sneaky belief that deep down she's just not quite right. And if others really saw her for who she is, she'll get the boot. So it's kind of your job to show her that it's okay to trust you, that she won't get bad reaction or be shown the door if she opens it. But hey, it's a two-way street. While you're giving her her space and building trust, you've also got to make sure your own boundaries stay intact. Your well-being matters too, after all. And last but not least, this one is crucial. Guys, when you're dating an avoidant, remember, no clinginess allowed. Think of it like this. Avoidants have this built-in radar for detecting anything that's getting a little too clingy or suffocating. It's like their personal space alert goes off when things start feeling too tight. This doesn't mean they don't want closeness. It's just that they need it in doses that feel comfortable to them. Imagine you're hanging out with a friend. You both laugh, share stories, but then suddenly they're sticking to you like glue, wanting to know every detail of your day. It's a bit overwhelming, right? Well, for avoidance, that's how too much clinginess can feel. They value their independence and freedom. And if you start sensing someone's getting a little too demanding, it can be a red flag. It's not about not caring or shutting people out. It's about finding that balance between closeness and giving each other room to breathe. So when you're with a avoidant partner, remember that space is their friend. They want to be close, but not in a way that makes them feel trapped. Keep things light. Let them initiate some of the togetherness and show that you respect their need for a little air to breathe. It's like creating a dance where you both move in harmony. A step towards closeness, a step towards independence. And that rhyme must just help you both stay in sync. This is how you can build up to have those conversations where you figure out the right dynamic that makes the both of you feel fulfilled. The key to remember is that whenever your avoidant feels forced or pressured, they're going to pull away. So if you want to date one, you have to keep in mind that you have to nurture a feeling of naturalness. And this happens through patience, empathy, and most importantly, communication. Alrighty guys, I hope today's video was really helpful and that you now better understand how to develop a satisfying relationship with an avoidant woman. And also too, I feel that if you are continuously getting the short end of the stick, if she's not making the effort to meet you halfway and to grow, and if you don't feel respected in the relationship, it is okay to decide that it's not right for you too. However, if you find that she is receptive to your patience and understanding, then you will be able to establish a meaningful relationship that only gets better with time. Remember, just because someone is an avoidant, it doesn't mean that they can't change and enter into a deeply loving relationship and respectful one too with a secure person. So remember to hit that like and subscribe button to my channel, guys, because I am always sharing ways to create rewarding relationships and navigate the challenges of love. As always, if you want to continue watching, I have this next video over here. It's how to know if a woman is gaslighting or manipulating you. Watch that right over there. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.